What's up, YouTube? Welcome out to Take a Hike with Jim. Of course, that makes me Jim, aka your boy YaKnow. And right now, I just want to come on here and talk to you for a few minutes. We're about 59 days out from the Appalachian Trail. We had a lot of things to go down in the last week or two, especially with the shakedown, right? It really opened our eyes to a few things. And then on top of opening up our eyes to a few things, we are still way overweight. We start our shots today, so we got about 7 weeks or so worth of shots that we could take, but it's not going to do no good if we don't pair it with diet and our exercise with our cardio to drop weight. We still got to get in the habit of eating a little bit better and right. We're hoping realistically to drop, you know, if I could drop 20, 25, 30 pounds between now and the trail, that's a game changer for me. But anything right now to help kind of condition me a little bit more. I feel like I'm trail conditioned, and I know there's been people that was out there on the channel that's been saying, hey, you need to get out of the New River, you need to get out of Greenbrier Valley, you need to get away from these areas and challenge yourself more, da-da-da. Look, I got to do with what I got and with the financial means and the budget in which I have. And we have a lot of family things here that go on that kind of restrict me down as far as things I can and cannot do in places I can and cannot go for right now. The wife's carrying 98% of the load while I'm doing this training right now. So in saying that, you know, with me switching the training to training here at home and doing some stuff here, it's going to be more realistic. That way she's not doing 99% of everything here. And she is, and it's not fair. So in saying that, as far as, you know, going to go to Harper's Ferry or Damascus or somewhere where the AT's at and go out for 3, 4, 5 days in a row, even before the AT gets here for a shakedown, probably not going to happen. We still are going to have some shakedowns and different things coming. I got at least one, if not two more planned. And we're waiting on our new pack. We're going through our gear with a fine-tooth comb. We're listening to everyone's recommendation, long-distance hikes, Chase, AT, JB Not Lost, Sparky. We're listening to all of y'all Hike with Mike. We're listening to every single one of y'all's recommendations and all these things. And we're watching videos of our own. And we're going through and we're trying to figure out what works for us and what doesn't. And it looks like right now we're going to be about 15 pounds, maybe 16, but maybe 15 pounds. I want to be a hair below that if I can be, but it's not necessarily something that's going to happen, right? So with all that being said, I wanted to bring you into the training center where everything's going to happen. This is where I'm sitting right now, and give you a little bit of a backstory about where it is I'm at and what's going on and what to expect over the next, I don't know, couple weeks. As we bear down. So right now we're in a makeshift training gym that I've created on the front porch of what used to be my grandparents' home. It is now my home. In saying that, this front porch was just built on for like a summer room for, you know, the grandparents, the aunts, uncles, and all that stuff to come out here and enjoy everything. And then there was a lot of kids back then, so and they couldn't always go out and play and different things like that. So this was boxed in. The kids would come out here and do whatever. So in saying that, there is no air conditioner, which right now, this time of the year, that's not a problem. But in saying that, there is absolutely zero heat out here too. So, and the walls, the outside walls of this thing has no insulation in it whatsoever. I know because I've had the walls open. The ceiling has very little insulation. So in saying that, this room, once it gets cold in here, it tends to stay about 3 or 4, sometimes 5 degrees colder than even what it is outside, which in the summer works out good. In the winter, it could be a little bit cold, right? So our plan is we got a little propane here and we got like a little electric heater if need be, but we are going to start training here, and I wanted to show you some of the things we're going to be training, some of the things we're going to be doing, and different things here in the makeshift gym and what we have and everything that's going on, right? So in saying that, we do have the Bowflex, and it is kind of dirty, our treadmill, and we put it over next to the window. We've got some air and breeze and stuff comes through and stuff like that. But we do have the treadmill. That's going to be where the majority of our hiking miles in the next 50 days are going to take place. It's going to be on the treadmill and different things like that, raising and lowering incline. I'm not so much worried about the speed as I am the distance and hitting some distance miles into different shoes and stuff. And I know it's not the same as being out on trail, but once again, I got to bear down and focus and come up with a absolute, grind, bust you in the rear training plan, right? So after that, we got a little bit of endurance here. We got our Schwann 270 bicycle. Yes, it is a set bicycle where you kind of sit in the chair versus up. And the reason why, when I originally had bought this several years ago, my niece had back surgery and had a pole put in her back and all that, and I was hoping that she'd be able to use it, come up and use it, but she never did. So it stayed out in our main gym forever. People didn't really use it, so it's got like it's got less than 40 hours on it. So we are going to start using the heck out of that thing as well to help try to get our endurance. Over here we got our Century punching bag. This is cardio, right? So cardio is going to be our main focus. We are too heavy to try to run. We are uncoordinated to jump rope. So in saying that, martial arts, fighting, boxing has always been a thing for us. This thing's plumb full of water. It is pretty heavy. We got some gloves and different things we'll be using there. We're going to be doing 10 rounds of boss root and boxing with something in between each round. Like round 1, we'll do burpees when he says the word defense. Round 2, we'll do squats, and we'll variate all the way up to, and then when he says defense and hold it, we go down in the plank, or we go down a squat and hold it, whatever we got to do there. And we work our way up to where we're doing 10 full rounds of that, which shouldn't be too big of a deal. We got our original weight machine. This is the machine that originally made it all happen for us back when I originally lost my weight years ago, and I was in the best shape of my life, and then ended up not being in the best shape of my life versus the biggest shape of my life, right? And different things. So we got the bench here. I gotta go out to my main gym and bring a bar in. We got some bars out there and stuff, but I do have some weights, I do have some dumbbells, and I do have some other things. So we are also going to be doing some DDP yoga. It's not your mama's yoga. That's going to be our first workout of the day, probably, is our DDP yoga. We'll get us some coffee in us. We're going to turn this on, throw our yoga mat down, do our DDP yoga, right? Haven't eaten. Then we'll eat our breakfast, sit down, eat our breakfast. You guys know me. I know I like a lot of coffee. So I'll probably have another cup of coffee, and then we are going to hit 10 rounds of boss rootin' boxing, right? 10 rounds of boss rootin' boxing. By that time, it's going to be time for lunch, probably shower number 1, which my wife ain't going to like what I'm getting ready to say here. But that's probably getting ready to be shower number 1, right, in the morning. Right after that, because we should be covered in sweat, pretty sweaty by then, and going. So that's going to take us through lunch. Then at lunch, into the evening time, I want to hop on the treadmill. I want to hit 6, 8, 10 miles if I can with the treadmill and get that in a day, at least no fewer than 4 to 6 a day on the treadmill with varying elevations and different things, because that's going to help us even though we're out on trail. And just like being on trail, we will take our stops, we will take our pauses, we will take our breaks and different things, right? We will go ahead from then and go back over to this section, and we are going to do some weight training, like some squats, some lunges. We'll be doing some light lifting because it takes muscle to replace fat, but muscle weighs more than fat. We're trying to drop weight, but we're not trying to lose a lot of muscle in the process either, because muscle helps you burn calories. We got a short time to get where we're getting ready to be, so that's going to be our answer with the weight training. And as soon as we get done with weight training, just to kind of stretch it out, just like we started with the day, we're going to go over and we're going to jump on the bicycle, and we're going to do a couple miles on the bike. Don't know it'll be very many every day, but we'll do a couple miles on the bike and get nice and pedaled in, and kind of get the hips, the knees, the ankles, all that one final cardio push, endurance push for the day. And depending on where we are at that point, we may finish out with a little bit of stretching and DDP yoga, but chances are we're going to be dead by that time, right? So traditionally in the gym, I used to do 2 days on, 1 day off. We're going, excuse my language, we are throwing it against the wall, see what sticks, and it is going to be nonstop, right? We don't got time for days off right now. We don't want to overtrain, so some days we may do the full set and workout and rotation. Other days there may be parts of it get skipped, left out, or whatever. But we're going to try our best. And then there's going to be some days that are really pretty days. We want to get out and actually try to go over to Fayetteville, hit the Fayetteville Park Loop Trail, hit the Fayetteville Trail, hit the Long Point Trail, Endless Wall. Some of the trails we've already done is close. And like I said, I know that people's been saying them trails ain't going to do nothing for us when it comes to the AT. I get it. I understand. But it's something, right? And I got to try. So we're going to do that. And then I think, like I said, I want to try to get one more shakedown in. It won't be like last time. We won't be hiking, 6, 8, 10, 12 miles out. We'll take Dixie Carter's advice. And for those that don't think Dixie knows what she's talking about, look at all the trails that she's done and look how many subscribers she's got and look how many videos and supporters. I think that we could say she's the resident expert on the situation. Not me, certainly, but Dixie is one of the resident experts. She's one of the main influencers of how we do this on her channel. Many of you watch her and support her channel. But anyway, she says go about a mile, mile and a half, no more than 2 miles out for your shakedown in case anything were to go wrong or anything like that. And so that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to get one of those in, if not 2 of them in, like I said. But if we do, we do. If we don't, we don't. Right now, our main focus is we got our pack weight, we got our overall weight down. Now we got to bring our body weight as much as we can. Where we thought we was eating and doing a good thing, and even though I should have listened to the wife a lot more and didn't, we was eating a lot of good stuff, but I was going through Greek yogurt like crazy because I just love it. So apparently that was not necessarily a good thing. So what we're going to do now is we are going to focus a lot on cardio, a lot on getting the weight down. I feel with a workout routine and the shots, we're going to drop weight and should drop weight fast. Now, we don't want to drop weight uncontrollably, right? There is a such thing as dropping too much weight too fast. So we don't want to necessarily do that and throw ourselves into a situation to where medically we're not going to be able to do the trail. So we're going to be monitoring it close. We know about what we want to lose. We know about what it's going to take to lose. We're going to bring our scales out here. You folks will get to see weigh in pretty much every day. You're going to get to see the calorie count starting tomorrow of what goes in, what goes out every single day. We're going to have some time-lapse videos of the workouts at the very beginning and what we're going from there. We're even going to shoot some lives from the treadmill while we're walking and do some talking and stuff. Maybe on our Tuesdays and Fridays we'll do that. I don't know. We'll see. But we got a lot of stuff to get going, and this is one of them. Our weight is one of those things, our own body weight, right? Because we're way too big. And I know we're going to lose weight when we're on trail and different things like that, but I want to set myself up for the absolute best opportunity and best overall chance that I can to be successful on this trail. I don't want to have to come off this trail because of my weight. I just don't want to do that. So if it's a health issue like my heart or something like that, that's different, or break an ankle, God forbid, or a severe twisted ankle, God forbid, or something like that, that's one thing. But, to come off because I'm, 285 plus and I'm sucking wind and I just can't make it happen, that's unacceptable. So anyway, appreciate your support. I knew, I told you folks that the videos and stuff was going to start being just a little bit different. So this is not me being out in the woods. This is just me showing you the training facility that we have in here that we'll be using. We have another training facility out in my 2-car garage. We will be out there with my son and his boys a little bit. We'll do another video on that in a couple days about what's going on out there. I'll be jumping in with them occasionally too. So just keep your fingers crossed. We'll try to get some hiking videos and stuff on here as well. Like I said, as we go, we got some gear reviews, the Neoloft. We want to do an honest review. We want to do an honest review of the Gossamer, the 2, even though I think we've already done some things with that. I really want to give it a better review. and the Neo Loft as well. I want to give some other things we got, gear review. So we got a lot of things we could be doing, right? But mainly right now, we need to focus on health. So continue to support the page, continue to like it if you don't mind. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, hit the thumbs up if you're enjoying the content thus far. And let's start training, right? Let's do it, all right? I only got one more question, only one more favor, only one more thing to ask of you, if you don't mind. Take a hike, would you?